Hello there, Cancer. This is Sophie with Lady of the Unknown Oracle. Thank you so much for joining me in your reading today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am so excited you've decided to join us. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your love, support, contributions, and above all, being my confirmation that I'm in alignment with my life purpose. You have my undying gratitude. So my loves, this is going to be your general reading. The messages we reveal today are applicable to any set of circumstances that are taking up space in your mind, your heart, and spirit. So for you, this could be romance, this could be friendship, self-love, finance and career, your spiritual growth, and really just anything of value to you. Also keep in mind that the messages today have no time frame. Okay, so if you are here, it's because there's something here that will help you close off a past situation, kind of get around and maneuver a current situation, or anticipate and prepare for a future situation. So if today's reading doesn't resonate, please take a look at last month's reading, because my readings do tend to read energies out to 2 to 3 months ahead of our time together in this reading. And if you find that this reading is super in alignment and resonates with you, but you're not really feeling drawn to getting a personal reading from me, I will be including an extended reading on Vimeo to address that lingering question of, like what or who is coming toward me and what is my best approach. The link can be found in the description box below. But if you do feel like you would like a more information revealed about your specific situation than what actually comes up from today's reading, you can absolutely reach out for a personal reading from me. I would love to do one for you, and all the information to get in touch with me and book a reading with me is in the description box below as well. Okay? So my lovely Cancers, let's find out what's going on with you and what you need to know moving forward. Okay? Let's see what's going on. So in your pre-shuffle, no cards came popping out, okay? So I know a while back, my Cancers were really going through some tough times, romantically, spiritually, huge shifts, okay? It's only been a few months, right? You guys were experiencing huge life changes. So I feel like by now, for the majority of you, you are getting to a place where even if things aren't exactly where you would like them to be, you've made tremendous strides away from an old situation that was really eating the energy and just the life force out of you. I did see the 10 of Cups several times while I was splitting the deck to shuffle. So I have no doubt that for the majority of you, this reading will have a lot more to do with the plans you have for your future. Okay, you could be connecting with a water sign as well, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. All right, so let's see. Let's see what's going on for my lovely Cancers, please. What's going on? Let's see. Piscean energy here with the Four of Pentacles. Someone that you're interested in and really latching onto, or someone who may be could be blocking an opportunity to reconnect or to connect for the very first time. With the Hanged Man energy, right? It's not only Piscean, it's also that energy of holding on, standing still. This person could be holding on to a past situation, or holding on, they're afraid to let go of something, right? They're afraid to let go of something, and essentially that's blocking their blessing. So Cancer, if you are connecting with a Pisces, if you are trying to connect with them in some capacity, romantic, friendship, or otherwise, they are not being receptive to your advances because they are currently holding on to something or someone. All right, you could have Pisces in your chart as well, Cancer. And in that case, you're really just trying to hold on to your money. You're trying to hold on to what has been left behind, after the Tower moment that you experienced, right? You're just trying to really value the things that are still around, and you're not making room really for anything new just yet. But I don't feel like this is a bad thing. I don't feel like this is a bad thing. Two of Swords, yeah. So King of Pentacles underneath that. You could have Earth in your chart, right? You could have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your chart. And if that is the case, this reading will reflect more of where it is you see yourself going in terms of stability. With the Two of Swords, we have a lot of indecision here. So if you're connecting with an Earth sign, this particular person is a little uncertain about how to proceed with you. This Earth sign it doesn't have to be an Earth sign. It can be someone who is just very well manifested, someone who's very stable. This could be a job, a person, someone that you work with. This could be a boss. This could be a manager. It could be a business partner. This could also be your husband or someone who you've been committed to for a while. If you're connecting with another person, this person, they're very indecisive about how to proceed with you, or you are indecisive about how to proceed with them. Okay, so your current energy here is death. So you could also be connecting with a Scorpio, or you have this in your chart, or the person you're connecting with has it in their chart. So for example, guys, if someone has Scorpio in their moon, right, this is going to be very reflective of how they're feeling. Instead of, so if their actions are telling you something, but they have Scorpio moon, then this is going to reflect kind of like their inner thoughts about how they want to connect, but maybe they aren't outwardly showing it. And just to give you an idea, right? But you could be connecting with a Scorpio or have this in your chart. You are being crossed by the 10 of Pentacles. So there's a desire here to have stability, but a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are ending, right? On your mind, you've got the Sun. Wow, you could be connecting with a Leo. You could also have your son, literally your son, if you have a child, you know, a masculine child, a male child. You could be having this particular person on your mind, and you're concerned really just about how things are going to affect them. In your heart, you've got the Knight of Wands. Okay, in the recent past, you had the Seven of Swords. Coming in, you've got the Hanged Man. So this Pisces is showing up again, Cancer. So if you are connecting with a Pisces, all right, this is going to be very, very clear. Okay, the messages here are going to be very clear. So you see yourself as the Five of Wands. In your environment, you've got the Three of Swords. Your fear here is justice. And your potential outcome is strength. Okay, so for some of you, this is going to be about divorce. For some of you, this is going to be in regards to business plans with somebody who you feel like you may have come to the end of your rope with. There are major endings and there is major disappointment. Ooh, wow, that just wanted to come out. You saw that. So lovers, you could be connecting with a Gemini, but overall, this is the sense of having to make a very important decision. I would not be surprised to see Judgment come out. Okay, because we've already got justice and death, so major endings and things needing to be cut out in order to be reestablished. So let's see what's going on though. In the recent past, someone had partaken in some pretty sneaky behavior. So Cancer, you guys are pretty familiar already. If the energies here do not represent your current situation, then it would be very reflective of the person with whom you're connecting. So you have a Libra here on the board. Libra, double Leo, Scorpio, Gemini. Okay, let's see. Major changes though, major changes, very disappointed. Seeing yourself as the Five of Wands, this could be internal conflict, or it could just be that you are constantly at odds with this person that you're connecting with. So if you are connecting with a Scorpio, you are most likely married to this person or want to be married to this person. You guys are trying to build something together. Right? So if you're not married, for example, you just have a promise to build this business together, a partner of some kind. And you guys are really at like opposite ends of the spectrum here. Like you guys have the same end goal, but the way to get there is completely different. They're like the day-to-day stuff that's so important, right? The stuff that does add up over time. You guys are just at odds about it. And on your mind, you want happiness. But in your heart, you know, you're feeling kind of non-committal. The Knight of Wands is someone who does feel very passionately, but every now and then, you know, they feel passionately about where they're at, and then they kind of lose their fire, and then they move on to something else. So it could be that something about the agreement, some days you feel good about, and then other days you're just like, you know what, it's not for me. You could be trying to, honestly, Cancer, you could be trying to explain away a situation that you know is really not good for you in the long term, but because you see this promise of stability, you're like, I mean, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But I don't see that. Because again, the past energy is coming up as the Seven of Swords, which is really not very positive energy unless someone used it as a way to improve themselves. But if someone constantly tries to get by doing very little, and goes out of their way to withhold information, whether to manipulate you or just to be selfish, you know, that's really not positive energy. Okay. All right. So someone here, you might be feeling like you're missing out on an opportunity, right? And that could be why you're kind of settling for a situation that really doesn't serve you. Overarching energy is the King of Cups, so very strong scorpionic energy. The King of Cups can be just Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but the King of Cups in particular is very strong Scorpio energy. And beneath that, you've got the Queen of Cups. So this is a true couple. This is a true pair. So if you guys, you know, if this is romantic, all right, you guys are both very emotional with one another. You're very, very vulnerable. You're very loving. Okay, you're very loving. You guys are essentially the two separate parts of the same coin. Right? If you guys are business partners, you guys share the same creative vision. If this is you, the individual, you've achieved duality within yourself, or you're trying to, right? There's a sense of trying to achieve harmony. Two people who should be very compatible might be kind of at odds right now. Now with death, you're connecting either with a Scorpio or you're in the middle of a really tremendous transformation. Now we've got the Three of Swords coming out again. So it could have been the end of a three-party situation recently where the person that you're connecting with could be an air sign. We've got Gemini on the board. And with all this air energy, this is very strong Gemini. Libra being in your fears, it could have been a Libra, but I feel like this Libran energy has more to do with just how those scales are going to be rebalanced and the kind of either legal issues or things that you'll have to cut out from your environment are going to affect you. That's what I'm really getting from this. So, you know, it could be that if you're connecting with a Gemini, there was something recently that happened, a major ending in a three-party situation that you are currently reeling from. And it's transforming the entire way that you look at this person, the entire way that you look at the situation. You know, you want the Ten of Pentacles, but again, you're realizing that with this person, with the Five of Cups, there's so much that's been lost. You know, there's so much grief surrounding this desire to settle down with them or this desire to be with them. It doesn't have to be Scorpio and it doesn't have to be Gemini, right? This could really just be a situation where they betrayed your trust. You know, they betrayed your trust. They cut corners. You know, if it's not romantic and it's business, you know, they made certain promises that they couldn't deliver. And on top of that, they went behind your back and made certain deals with people that you agreed you wouldn't make deals with. Or, you know, they executed something too soon because they thought they knew better. You know, there was something that was owed and limited to the partnership decisions that they went out of their way to do on their own because they thought it was better. And so they kind of disregarded your opinion altogether. Right? There's a feeling here of neglect. There's a feeling here of recklessness, of really not taking your thoughts, you know, and your feelings into consideration when that's kind of the whole purpose of being in a partnership is to work on something together, right? Not to go off and do whatever you want by yourself while taking advantage of everything the other person has contributed to the matter, right? So on your mind, you've got the Sun. You want happiness, you want clarity, you want growth. With the Eight of Swords, again, yeah, Cancer, I'm getting the feeling here that you know that this is really not worth so much of the pain and so much of the suffering. And it almost feels like you have this idea of stability in mind and you're almost willing to forego your own standards to make it happen, even though this person is not really a good fit. Like maybe at first they were a great fit, but now as time has gone on, you're seeing their true colors and you're realizing that they may not be trustworthy, but maybe you've invested so much time into them. You know, when you're talking about the Ten of Pentacles, we're talking, you know, you've planted certain seeds that almost feel like you can't go back, right? Which again, Libra, you know, with the Justice energy here in your fears, you might be truly afraid of what bringing an end to the situation could look like, right? If this is a literal, you know, a son and that you have, right? You might be afraid of the effect this is having on him, right? Maybe he feels trapped. Maybe he feels insecure. What's on your mind is how all of this is essentially affecting the way your son perceives relationships or the way your son perceives, partnerships in general and how those are supposed to look in terms of respect, right? You could be, if it's not a son, this is really just, you know, children. You know, you could be pregnant or you could have multiple children and you're really just afraid of what this partnership is doing to their mentality. You don't want them to grow up seeing something so unhealthy. And even though you're trying to create stability, you're in this place where you're like, is it worth building with someone who is really just going to negatively influence these, you know, our children in the long run? Okay, they are coming up as the Seven of Swords. I want to bring that attention to you. That is really important. How this person comes up in a reading says a lot about the true intentions beneath it. Okay, so this person, if they were not trustworthy or if they did something to hurt your feelings, they may not have come up necessarily as the Seven of Swords. Coming up with the Seven of Swords says that their intentions were really to try to get away with something without you ever finding out. And the fact that you did was really just happenstance. It was really just happenstance. If you had not found out the way you did, they could have gone on contently doing this behind your back and never feeling bad about it. Okay, and that says a lot about the person. So in your heart, you've got the Knight of Wands with the Two of Wands. You're not sure. You're non-committal. You've gotten to a point where even though you want stability, you're not sure if this is the person really that you can build this with. If it's a business, right? Again, this person, you want growth, right? The Sun does indicate growth. You know, so you want growth, you want to continue developing, you are constantly excited for a new day, but you're not even sure what the potential in this situation with this partnership or with this business looks like anymore, right? You're not really sure if this is, you're having doubts, you're having second thoughts in your heart. You know a decision has to be made in the recent past with the Seven of Swords and Justice. Now that we can link this to a Libra. Okay, now we can link this to a Libra. So you could be dealing with Gemini or Libra. This could also be kind of what instigated a divorce here. All right, for some of you who are in separation from somebody who, you know, really just, they threw it all against the wall. You know, and it's truly their loss because I see how willing you are to really put in the work, Cancer. So it's truly their loss. Like I feel bad for them. They have no idea what they're missing now. They really don't. Okay, they've really destroyed a beautiful thing. So their loss, you know, their loss. But if you were connecting with a Libra, this person in particular really, you know, they really betrayed your trust. They really went behind your back, and whether it was a three-party or not, they didn't prioritize you. You saw how much they did not value you, that you saw how much they did not value the connection. And that's it. If some of you are dealing in legal matters, okay, someone found a loophole, right? Someone found a loophole somewhere, or someone kind of twisted the contract to kind of sound a certain way. So when you signed it, it obligated you to something that you really didn't want to. And so now essentially you're in this space of not only feeling betrayed, but having to figure out how to get yourself out of this. Right? If you were really looking forward to certain financial gains, something about what this loophole or what that clause that you missed in the contract, it's really eating away at your finances. For some of you, this is child support. For others of you, this is an investment that you didn't realize you were agreeing to make. Right? It could be a percentage that someone that you were partnering with, you didn't realize, you know, you thought they were only going to get 30%, but the way the words came, you know, the way the words were ordered, it turns out that you agreed to only receiving 30%. Meanwhile, you're applying most of the work to the project, something like that. There's like a time sink, or a money sink, right? That you kind of, you know, there was a misinterpretation here, and someone really did a great job of being extra deceptive, and now you're kind of biting the bullet for that. Okay. Coming in, you know, you've got the Hanged Man. You could be connecting with a Pisces. This is someone who's coming in. All right. If you've had your eyes on a fire sign and you haven't really made any strides with this person, hold off. Okay. Hold off, because with the Hanged Man energy and the Seven of Swords, I hesitate. Right, with the Six of Pentacles, okay, let's just say this. With the Six of Pentacles, you really have to get things balanced first. Point blank, period. Okay, now if this particular Libra has fire in their chart, or Pisces in their chart, right? They have Leo, Aries, Sag in their chart, or Pisces in their chart. Again, they really just went out of their way to give you the bare minimum. Okay, that's applying to this Libra. Okay, this Libra doesn't have to have Libra Sun. It could be Libra rising with, you know, Leo Sun, or any combination of Libra and fire. Okay, that's for that particular situation. Now, if we're just talking here in terms of a situation that needed to be rebalanced, right, which I think I failed to mention, you know, Justice with the Seven of Swords talks about cutting out this BS, cutting out this deception. And so while it hurts, it's necessary. But because of it now, it's kind of having a ripple effect in all other areas of your life. And it really just, you know, dealing with this particular situation really hurts your heart. It really drains your energy. It really takes up a lot of your time. And so it's just kind of, you know, really weighing down this desire for growth that you're thinking about. You know, so coming in with the Hanged Man, the Queen of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords in this deck has a slightly different interpretation. This isn't the person doing the deceptive, you know, stuff in the back. This is the person who is the person, you know, finding out about the Seven of Swords. This is how the person who is on the receiving end of the deception feels. So it's that sense of hopelessness, of helplessness, right? So you, Cancer, could be feeling really like all the information you're getting right now is really just too damn much, right? It's just too much. It's too much. And if that's the case with the Hanged Man energy here and the Six of Pentacles, you need to just take your time, okay? Take your time. This is not an easy situation to unravel from. And if that is the case, there's a need here to just, if you need a second, to really let go of your emotions, to really indulge in your emotions and give them a moment to acknowledge what all of this is saying about this person. You know, it is a shock to the system. It's a shock to your mind. You didn't want this. I see that you wanted stability. And so this person was just a huge disappointment, or this partnership, or this business venture, or even, if this is you, the individual, this is really just you wanting growth. And in some type of way, you may have deceived yourself. You tried cutting corners, but you realize that that really just does more harm than good. It could be also you bouncing back, you having partaken in some toxic rituals and habits that you were used to, and it's like this is the bounce back, where it's like maybe you broke someone's heart, someone who you really care about, you did something that really crossed them, and you realize that's not the way you want to live, and it's kind of like a wake-up call, right? Again, it's a sense of betrayal. You wanted stability, but something happened that went against that, and so now there's a need to reestablish balance. But before that, take a moment to heal. Okay, the seven of swords energy is still coming up very strongly. So if you are in a situation with someone who has been deceptive, they have not stopped trying even though they got caught. Okay, so if you have someone coming to you with communication saying, I love you, I still find you so attractive, there's no one else. I am seeing a Queen of Wands here, which is a very passionate individual. It could be a sex-only individual. So if you are connecting with a Libra who's got Pisces in their chart, but not really much fire, this could be the other woman or the other person, the other man, right? This could be the other person, and with the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, they're really just trying to say anything they can to get by with you. They really just want to start over, and they want to kind of like pull the wool over your eyes by feeding you whatever. They see that you're vulnerable, Cancer. They see that you're vulnerable, and they're trying to take advantage of that vulnerability by telling you what you want to hear, so that they can get back in your good graces. And so it feels like you guys are at a standstill in the connection. Right? It feels like you guys are at a standstill in the connection, and you guys are trying to quote unquote work on things, but your intuition is telling you that they are not being sincere, and I can confirm that. They're not being sincere. They're really not. They're just trying to tell you, and I feel like you know that. Okay, I feel like you know that. If this is a business venture, right, this person definitely tried to reconnect with another person. Be very careful about how much you're offering this person and how much they've been giving back. Because if you've been partnering with somebody who hasn't been reinvesting in the company, and now you're finding out they're reconnecting with someone else, I can see here where they may be planning to leave your company to work with them. Okay? Again, this could be a contract that they signed with another company on certain conditions, that after they finish 6 months with you or 2 years with you or wherever they're at in the contract with you, they're going to leave. You understand what I'm saying? So there's still some deception here coming in. If that's not the case, and this is just you reeling from all of this information, be gentle with yourself and hold true to your intuition. If you feel like now's the time to get out of a certain connection or to get out of a situation and you need time alone, please take that time alone. Now's the right time. Okay? Now you see yourself as the Five of Wands in conflict with the Ten of Wands. You just doubled the five. All right, so you went from conflicting, feeling conflicted inside or being at odds with someone, to now just carrying the entire weight of the situation. So you went from speaking your piece within a connection, for example, and now instead of having made progress, now you feel just guilty, like as if it's all your fault, right? Or if this is a partnership at work, right? You guys were in opposition, and now suddenly, somehow, you feel like you are just carrying the majority of this weight. Again, I feel like this has a lot to do with whatever this legal situation or whatever this imbalance is. This deception, I feel like you were tricked, Cancer. I feel like you, in some ways, you were tricked into wanting stability, where someone took advantage of your vision and said, if I can paint a good enough picture for them, then they'll agree to these terms, and essentially they're going to put in all the work while I sit back and do nothing. Is what it feels like. So you see yourself from having fought to having basically agreed to carry the majority of the responsibility, and there's a need here to drop it. Okay, now if it's just the arguments and the oppositions that's weighing heavily on you, and you're not really carrying any more responsibility than you have been, and this is really just arguments for you, right? There's a need to stop the arguing. Okay, there's a need to stop the arguing. That is pretty much the biggest block here. The biggest block here is the arguing, and I feel like the need to rebalance is coming through very strongly. So if you are arguing about something that you know has essentially killed this connection, or has killed any kind of trust you could have in this person in the future, right? Then you need to leave it behind. If this is a habit or a ritual or any type of thing that has carried into your life up to this point, that has recently sent you reeling into the past again and has caused you to feel disappointed in yourself, there's a need to make sure that you lay that habit to rest. Now that you know what kind of damage it does, it's, it happens. We all have our downfalls, but then you need to make sure that you really, really, really learn from this lesson, because it's weighing heavily on your relationships, and it's making you look very different than what it is you're trying to become. Okay? Now, in the environment, we've got the Three of Swords with the Four. So you're healing, right? In the environment, there's healing. This is whatever happened has already happened. And if it hasn't happened yet, healing will very quickly follow. Again, be gentle with yourself, okay? There could be someone here that's constantly egging at you, to make you feel like there's more you can be doing in this situation, as if it was your fault. But it's not your fault, Cancer. This person is coming up as the Seven of Swords twice. Okay, this person is making you feel insecure with the Eight of Swords. This person has caused you to feel Five of Cups. There's a loss here, right? With the Three of Swords twice, there's a loss here. There's hurt here. There's betrayal. This person wasn't honest. Okay, so in the environment, you've got the Three of Swords with the Four of Swords. So whatever it was that was the source of your heartbreak, of the disappointment, not having your expectations met, that's coming to an end, and you're healing from it, which is good. Be gentle with yourself. You could even be meditating on what went wrong, so that way you can figure out what the game plan is moving forward. All right, now what's this justice here? Sun, you could be connecting with a Leo. All right, this Leo is also on your mind. So whatever this legal situation is, you could be connecting with a Leo to whom you're married, or with whom you have a very serious, committed relationship with, or just a committed, contract or situation with, right? And your fear is really just, how is this going to go? Right? How is this, if you're trying to dispute a legal matter, your fear here is that they're going to win, right? Your fear is that they're going to win. If this is, again, a son, right? If this is a child, you're afraid that someone here is going to get full parental custody over the children, right? For some of you where you have Libra in your chart, you're afraid of being happy outside of this connection. I feel like you kind of put all your eggs in one basket, and the kind of growth and happiness that's going to come from this, you realize is going to be really hard. So part of you is afraid of the process of growth, but then the other part of you is kind of like afraid that you're going to be one of those people that was happy to get a divorce. But to be honest, I have a couple friends now that who are divorcees now, and they do not feel bad at all about what happened. After the healing is done, they say, I wouldn't change a thing, because the truth is, I can't imagine what my life would be like if I was with that person still. Okay? There's nothing wrong with admitting that, certain things are just unhealthy for you. That's fine. And it's really better that way. All right? And for some of you who have Leo in your chart or are connecting with a Leo, you're really just afraid of what this battle is going to look like. You're afraid of the legal implications. You're afraid of where things may be unbalanced, right? Where things may not be playing fair. It's going to rebalance. It is going to be fair. Okay? Because justice doesn't come up for nothing. But right now, things are very imbalanced, and the best way to get through this is to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and to be very aware that whoever has been playing the deceptive party, they have not stopped. Okay, they have not stopped. So while you're healing and planning, which is great, make sure that if this person is still trying to manipulate you, either verbally or physically, take the proper actions to separate yourself and to create distance between you and that person, or you and that situation. You need time to heal. So if you're still trying to deal with the day-to-day arguments, and you're still trying to deal with the day-to-day discussions, there's no discussions to be had right now, Cancer. You need time alone. You really do need time alone. Talking is not going to help right now, because talking is how this person is going to get back in your head and manipulate you further. If that's their weapon of choice, then your weapon of choice needs to be isolation for the moment. Take away their power. Okay, if they're getting their power through their communication with you, then take away their ability to communicate with you by separating yourself and not taking their calls and not responding to them and saying, look, this is how you've been winning, right? This is how you've been winning. So no more. You don't get to win anymore. You don't get to win anymore. I'm going. Oh, but I want to. No. Oh, but I'll take the kids. No. We'll handle it in court. Right? Because what's going to happen is they're going to take advantage of your emotional, your vulnerability. And they're going to use that to get you to look at things in a slightly different way. But it'll be just enough for you to agree to something that's going to change everything in a way you didn't want. And in all the ways it's going to make it easier for them. Okay, so take time alone. Okay, take time to be alone. potential outcome here is strength. So again, we've got a lot of Leo on the board, Cancer. So this could really be a situation that you're encountering with a Leo. Okay, romantic or otherwise. You could have a lot of Leo in your chart, and you're in this weird tug of war, this like back and forth between your old self and your current self, who you're trying to build into your future self, right? So it's just like it's just very imbalanced right now. So with the Strength card, we've got the Hermit. You need to take time, yes. With the Magician, absolutely. And the Knight of Cups, absolutely. So Cancer, I see that Knight of Cups as really you, because what else could we pull from the deck? The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups already came out, right? So it's not like we can feasibly pull another high, this is the next highest court card that we could possibly pull out. So we've got the Hermit and the Magician. Okay, so right now we've got very strong Gemini, very strong Virgo, very strong Virgo. We've also got Aries here. We do have this particular fire sign in your heart space that you feel like you need to make a choice about, right? But overall, strength can either be having courage to act or holding back and restraining yourself, right? Trying to achieve balance by pulling back the part of you that wants to act on impulse. With the Hermit here, I'm getting definitely that feeling of you need to just kind of go within and hold back a little bit. You might want to retaliate. You might want to act out. You might want to yell, scream, jump, call the police on this person. You might, there's something really infuriating about the type of deception that they've done to you that is really driving you up the wall. Okay. But your potential outcome is you are coming through as the Magician. Okay, you're coming through as the Magician and as the Hermit. Two very wise energies, but two very capable energies. The Hermit has all of the information that they need within, which you do, right? You see everything very clearly. It's just a matter of retreating from the situation. It's okay if you need to go into kind of like Hermit mode and remove yourself from the situation. I'm seeing that is going to be really beneficial. And with the Magician energy here, we've got full manifestation. You really don't need anyone else's help, right? You have all the answers. You don't need anyone else's you don't need anyone else's input. If this Five of Wands is opposing opinions from other people, you don't need their input. You're the Magician. You have everything you need, all the tools, all the information, all the emotional and mental wherewithal you need, right? When the time comes, express your emotions with the Knight of Cups, right? When the time comes, then you express how you feel. But until then, formulate your ideas. Heal from that initial shock. Okay, hold yourself back from trying to go all out and just single-handedly destroy everything. Okay, in terms of overcoming the situation, I mean, these are extremely strong energies and very positive energies. With the Magician and the Hermit, you know exactly what direction you need to take from here. Now, it could require some patience. Okay, the restraint is nearly unbearable. Okay, the restraint is nearly unbearable, but patience truly has to be practiced right now. And you do have to go within and really trust your intuition right now. If you feel like things are going to work out in your favor, but it's just going to take some time, that is correct. And I'm seeing that here. That is supported. Okay. And when it comes time to express yourself, then you make your strides. But until then, outbursts are going to make things worse. Outbursts is what's going to feed this monster. Whether this monster is a person, a contract, a situation, a collection of people, that is the monster here. And by giving more of yourself, more of your emotion, more of your thoughts, before you've properly formulated them, before you've properly executed some type of plan where it's a proper representation of you and the outcome that you seek. Okay, this energy, this monster, whatever this situation is that's trying to suck everything out of your life, it takes advantage of that unpreparedness. Okay, so right now your biggest next step really needs to be to heal, to plan by meditating and going within and asking yourself, what is the outcome I'm looking for? What is the outcome I'm looking for? Why do I want that outcome? What am I trying to protect? Right? What am I trying to build? And what is the next step that I know is best for me? And if it requires waiting, then waiting is the answer, because I am seeing restraint here. Okay? There's a need to be courageous, and sometimes being courageous doesn't mean taking that leap of faith like the Fool does. Sometimes it really does mean going within as the Hermit and saying, you know what? I'm just going to sit still. I'm going to plan, and the day I am asked to explain why I feel the way I feel, I'm thinking in terms of court, but it doesn't have to be court. It could be in a meeting with someone, where you lay everything on the table. It could be one final discussion about something to come to some kind of terms of agreement, right? When I am asked to defend my stance, to defend my opinions, to defend the reasons I have for feeling the way I feel, not only am I going to be prepared, but this person is not going to have any wiggle room to manipulate me, because I will have already healed from what they've done, and there's nothing that they can say that's going to bother me or shake me up anymore. Because you already see how they play. They play dirty. So you're prepared for that. You have a plan in place. Maybe you talk to your attorney, you let them know what happened, and then now you find a loophole that reestablishes the balance here. Okay? But absolutely, there's definitely a sense of there being either a holdup financially, which I see you overcoming with some patience and some planning. Okay? Don't allow your emotional upheaval to kind of single-handedly knock down what's going on here. Be patient, make your plan, kind of recover from this shock, but you know what to do. Okay? In terms of stability, whether that's romantic or otherwise, there's a holdup here. It could be someone that you are connecting with who is greedy, and you're not sure how to act. You're not sure what steps to take in their direction. Okay, you're not really aware of. It's not even that you're not aware, because you're completely aware. You're not sure what next step it is you need to take to recover from this situation that they've instigated. Okay, and if this is you trying to become more stable, right? If this is you with Earth in your chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is you not really knowing what your next step is going to be, because you kind of agreed to something here that has taken away a lot of your resource. Recover from it. Okay, recover from it. Make a plan, and you've got all the tools you need. That's the Cancer. That is the bottom line for you here, is that regardless of what has deceived you, you absolutely are coming up as the magician right now, and your biggest challenge is really just to restrain yourself from having an emotional outburst. Go within and recover from the shock, right? Do some damage control if this was your fault. If it's not your fault, then just recover from the shock. And then once you've recovered from the shock, go within, meditate on the parts of this that really upsets you, so that way you can see how you can go in and repair. Because this person obviously doesn't really care if this is another person. This person is not concerned with being fair. So if you don't like what that has made your environment, kind of, sweep up the parts of your environment that you really can't stand to look like that. It's their responsibility. We all know that. It's their responsibility to repair all that, but they're not going to. So you go ahead and do it for your own sanity, and now you just create that boundary where it's like they don't get to come back in. They don't get to come back in. You've had to go in and clean up all their mess, right? And now you've got a plan in place where you say, you know what, this is the nature of our relationship now. This is the nature of our partnership. Create a huge distance and say, look, you've done this damage. That's just who you are. Yes, it shook things up for me, but it doesn't have to affect the outcome of my life. Okay? But you suck. Like, that makes you a really, really, an individual that I really don't want to associate with right now. Where you are in your life is not where I'm at in my life. And this does not contribute to my life. Right? So you have all the information now that you know, and you've created that distance for yourself to protect your energy, to protect your thoughts and your emotions. Now you create your plan on how do we resolve this to put this behind us, so that way we can create this new beginning where I will achieve better stability, whether that's financially, spiritually, romantically, whatever situation that suits for you. You will be able to create better stability by getting rid of this situation. Okay, if this was instigated by a person, you create distance with that person, resolve this situation with that person, and once things are resolved, have a plan now where you know how you can continue forward on your own. You're coming up as the magician. Okay, so you don't need another person. You don't need another person's input. You don't need someone else to help you come out of this. You are coming up as someone who, through intentions alone, have tremendous power, Cancer. Okay, heal, come up with a game plan, put this situation to rest, and when it's done, hit the ground running and create the life you know you deserve. Okay? All right, Cancer. I love you so much, my love. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read into your situation and provide you with clarity. I hope I was able to guide you and provide clarity into this situation. If you see your situation here and we weren't able to really go into as much depth as you would like, I would love to do a personal reading for you. Okay, all the information for that is in the description box below. And if you have lingering questions, you can take a look at the extended that's also in the description box below. But until next time, my lovely Cancers, thank you so much. I hope I was able to completely serve you, and just have a great day, okay? You're in my thoughts, you're in my heart, you're in my prayers always. Mwah. I love you guys so much, and until next time, bye, Cancer.